Hey everybody, I'm here today to tell you that this will cause a foundation leak if you don't fix it. In this video, I'll be going over something simple that many homeowners have around their homes and they don't bother fixing it, and eventually it causes a foundation leak. I'm going to tell you what it is, and I'm going to tell you how easy it is to fix something like this. Let's get right into it. The thing that causes, or the thing that will cause a foundation leak in time are trees growing out of a window well. And as you can see here, this is a window well on a new home that my wife and I purchased, and there are trees growing out of it, and they will eventually cause a leak in the foundation, or even window seepage, like I should say water seepage through the window, otherwise known as window seepage, if they don't get fixed, if they don't get removed. Now, I think there's a story that's worth telling, and that is why they've been trimmed. So originally, there was a grate like this over top of the window well, and the trees were growing really tall. And my father-in-law came by, and great guy, I don't have an ounce of anything against him. He's amazing, an amazing father-in-law. But he came by and he said, "Oh, you have some trees growing out of there." I said, "Yeah, no problem. Leave them alone because I want to do a video on removing these trees." I believe they're maple trees from what I can see from the window well. Came back, and the next day I came outside my house and the trees were trimmed. And he decided to just trim the trees and just like leave the branches. So he literally just trimmed the trees and just left the branches lying there. So he kind of ruined the video of me removing them, but I figured that I could still make use of this situation by showing you the damage that they can cause. So like I said, I mean, I like doing things myself. That's why I told them, please don't remove them. I'm gonna do it myself. The whole concept of my entire channel is doing things yourself. But what are you gonna do? You can't win them all. Anyways, so that's why they're trimmed. I figured I would tell you this story because it caused my wife and I to have a couple of laughs. Anyway, so what happens is the trees grow inside of the window well when there is improper drainage, when there's lots of soil here instead of rocks. Trees will grow. And guess what retains water? The roots of trees. So the roots of these trees are, without a doubt, just touching against the foundation of the house. And what happens in time is that water will sit against the foundation. It will erode the concrete on the foundation, and eventually it's going to cause a crack, which will lead to a foundation leak in your home, which leads to water in your basement. Now, luckily for me, I haven't experienced that yet. These trees look like they are relatively fresh because the trunks aren't that big, and maple trees, from what I can see, they look like maple trees. They grow rather quickly, so the trunks will thicken up really quickly. So the solution is going to be to remove them. Now, there are two things that you can do. The easy and quick way, but not really that effective for the long term, is just trim them as low as you can, put something over top so that they don't receive any sunlight, and they shouldn't grow back. But you still might get some water retention along those roots. The more long-term thing that you can do is to actually get as much as you can out. You might not be able to get every single ounce of it out of there, but as much as possible out. So as you can see right here, there is basically no stone left in front of this window. There's no rock to drain the water down. So that means all of the water is being soaked up and just held onto by these trees and the roots of the trees. So what is the solution? Well, the solution is I'm going to go down there with a shovel and I'm going to dig them up as much as I can. I tried pulling on them because I didn't know how deep they were and how intense they were, but these are not going anywhere. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to dig them up. And I'm going to pull out as much as I can of these trees and their roots. And hopefully that solves the problem. I'm also going to add some drainage stone to this window well over here. So I'm going to literally get some drainage stone that you can just buy at your local hardware store. I'm going to go down maybe about, I would say, like a foot to a foot and a half from the edge of the window well. And I'm just going to put some stone, you know, for about a foot and a half below the window well. And that's basically it. But I can promise you one thing: if you leave trees like this long enough, not only are they going to just overtake the whole area because they're going to grow. They have the perfect amount of sun and shade and the perfect amount of water being retained over here to grow. So this is a perfect scenario for a tree to grow, but it's a worse scenario for your home because eventually they're going to cause a crack in the concrete, they're going to erode it, and it's going to cause a leak. You know, foundational leak, and it's going to cause you to have water in your basement. So if you have a situation like this where your trees or even big weeds, it can be, you know, big growth that you don't want there, right? Just remove them. I know it's difficult. I know it's tough to crawl in there. Believe me, I know I'm going to do it right now. But at the end of the day, it is entirely worth it because, you know, spending the half an hour to 1 hour, maybe even 2 hours cleaning out all of your window wells and adding proper drainage will save you like tens of thousands of dollars in repairs in your basement, and repairing the foundation wall. Like, it gets very, very unbelievably expensive when you deal with that. So that's it. I just wanted to point out something that that essentially will cause a leak in your foundation if you leave it alone, if you don't fix it. And I wanted to incorporate that funny story about my father-in-law coming and trimming these trees, even though I distinctly told him, don't touch the trees. Don't touch anything. I like doing everything myself, so don't touch anything. He still cut the trees, but it's okay. I've had the conversation with him, and I don't think it'll be happening again. That's it. If you like this video, please be sure to give it a thumbs up. Let me know what you think down below as a comment, and of course, be sure to subscribe for more great videos just like this one. And that's all I have for you today. Thanks for watching.